So the other day, my dad asked me what made me start using drugs. I didn't have a single answer. Actually, I really didn't have any answer because, there's no single thing that I could point to that would be the cause of my drug use. I mean, I was sexually assaulted as a kid. I had a rough time in school. I was picked on a lot. I wore glasses, so yeah. I've been wearing glasses since the second grade, so I know what it's like to be called Four Eyes. I know what it's like to be bullied. I know what all that's like. But when it came to trying to think of a single reason why I started using drugs, there's no single reason. Um, Drugs are an escape. When I first started using it, I didn't see it that way. I just saw it as new experience, something fun, made you feel good. I mean, it's the part where it becomes an addiction, or you start abusing it, or whatever. That's where the problems came in, and that's what happened to me. I started using meth, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. Too much, way too much. But I've been been off meth for about 10, 11, 12 years, something like that. I don't even count anymore because it's not an issue for me anymore. So there really is no single reason why I started using drugs. Um, there were certain situations that put me in a position to use drugs that I probably wouldn't have normally used, like really wanting a girl and trying to go and buy some weed from her, and all she has is meth. And I wanted her. I wanted her more than I wanted anything else. So I was willing to do something, that I wouldn't have normally done. So in that sense, I think most people could understand that, how you could be put in that kind of situation, or, I was one of those people that had a hard time saying no to people. So it made it easier for, I guess you could say, people to influence me in some way, you know. If I really didn't want to do it, I wouldn't have. But hell, I was open minded. I was cool with trying stuff, and I wanted her. Of course, once I got a hold of meth, I forgot all about her, and I wanted meth. But I'll still occasionally, smoke pot. Like I said, I don't do meth anymore. Uh, yeah, about all I do is smoke pot, maybe smoke some cigarettes. I kind of quit smoking. I'm using one of these things now. Pretty good. Take the edge off. But yeah, there's no real one reason. And besides that, the first time I smoked pot, I was 5. 5 years old. And for years, I believed that it was my father who had given it to me. I still have this vague memory of him being the one handing me the bong, but I guess it wasn't. He swore up and down it was never him, and I believe him. But and then of course my uncles confessed to doing it, and when I was 2, they were putting beer in my baby bottle so I'd go to sleep. I was a handful as a baby. Still a handful. Angry, hungry handful. Yeah, if you're on drugs now and you're an addict and you want help, go to 12-step. Don't bother. Unless you're coming down off of heroin or alcohol or something like that, where just quitting it can kill you. Don't go to rehab. Don't go to detox or any of that. If you're on meth or cocaine or or weed, or LSD, whatever drug you're dependent on. Go to 12-step meetings. Start just by going to meetings, and try to go to a meeting every night that you have free. That's how I got clean. And I'm telling you, I went every single night because I wanted to get off. And I knew that if I took some time for me, some me time has always been bad for me. So, start that way. Get into the 12-step program, and then do your steps. That's the only way you're going to get clean. I mean, some people have the willpower to just up and quit. And, hey, I got respect for you. I could never do that. I was never able to just quit. And also, like with parents, there's a difference between users, abusers, and dependents. A person who uses, it's usually, kind of recreational kind of thing. An abuser is obviously somebody who still does it recreationally, but they take it too far. That's actually kind of how I started right there. I actually went through all 3 steps. And then, of course, somebody who's dependent is literally that. They are dependent on that drug. So, when you figure out what you want out of your life, that's the best way to go. I went to 12-step meetings for years. When I say I wanted to get off drugs, but I didn't. What I wanted to do was find a way to continue using, but not have to put up with everybody's bullshit. You always have somebody coming in, what are you doing this for? And they always pick the time. When you're all fucked up and everything, they always want to come and talk to you about drugs then. What's up with that shit? It's like, you always hear about these, like my cousin, he used to get drunk all the time. He was drunk. And, nobody would ever say anything to him when he was sober. Hey, I think you have a problem. They would wait until he's good and drunk. And, it's just like they're just trying to make some drama or something, or see how many buttons they can push. And it was the same thing with me. My father didn't really talk to me about my drug use, but my mom did. And she would always wait until I was on meth before she'd start talking to me about meth. And it's just like, God damn, why don't you just leave me alone? Let me enjoy this. You're killing my buzz. But the whole conversation came about because I was sitting there, I was telling my dad about all the crazy shit that I had seen, other drug, addicts do, like shooting up in their neck, or getting water from a puddle, or just anywhere they can find. I mean, dirty water. I mean, it's amazing that just that alone didn't kill more people. Taking syringes, busting the needle off and shooting it up in their ass. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff that I've seen people do. I mean, I never did anything like that, but maybe I missed out. Who knows? But that's how that conversation got brought up. And the crazy part is we get done doing our thing and talking and everything, and I come in, I make myself some dinner, and I'm sitting there, I finish my meal, and I get up and start doing the dishes, and while I'm doing dishes, I mean, I had a massive, spasm in my back, and I went down. I mean, I was completely unconscious, and I got up, I guess, probably a few minutes after the first time I went down, and I was on my knees and started getting back up, and same thing happened, and was totally out. Dad found me laying in the kitchen, so that was kind of messed up. And it's just one more of those things that I have to look forward to, from my years of drug abuse. I've got all kinds of health problems, no insurance, no job, completely unlikely that I'll get a job. And even if I do, I wouldn't be able to hold it. I've never been able to hold a job for more than a few months. And mostly it's because of me. I don't like people. Even jobs where I don't even have to deal with people for the most part, I end up, blowing it with somebody. And, Anyway, none of that's has anything to do with anything, but yeah, that's how that came up. And thanks for watching. Y'all have a good one. If you're on drugs, do what you can to get off. I mean, if you feel you have a problem. Y'all take it easy. Ladies.